Hey guys, this is probably a little bit of a different video than you were expecting on my channel today, but I was reached out to by Bandai to take a look at their new trading card game, Battle Spirits Saga. So what I'd like to do today in this video is talk about the game a little bit, let you get to know it, take a look at this influencer kit that they so generously provided to me and my channel, as well as talk about some really cool events that are coming up that I'm actually going to be a part of. And because I know you guys love the story of trading card games so much, I'm actually going to jump into a little bit of the lore of Battle Spirits Saga. And before we begin and I crack open this influencer kit, I do want to reiterate that yes, this was provided to me by Bandai. So yes, this is a sponsored video. Okay, so starting with what we got here, this is Battle Spirits Saga, along with this beautiful box here, and we'll get into that in a second. I was also provided these two starter decks, the Dragon Onslaught and Aegis of the Machine. Now, these are going to be two different colored decks. These are not, I'm not going to get into these specifically, but these are the starter decks provided to me. Now, let's just push these aside for now and take a look at the influencer kit itself. Now, under it, I do have a playmat that they provided as well. It's nice, sleek, nothing too fancy, but it is the playmat that you would use to sort of set up your field and your game of Battle Spirits Saga. Has everything, puts your deck, your trash, all of your game steps here, the field of battle, life, all this kind of stuff. Everything that you would need in order to get a game of BSS started. Now let's just go ahead and crack open the actual influencer kit itself. All right guys, so I'm back. I cut out all the, pulling out of the stuff and everything, but everything's laid out here that was inside the influencer kit. Nice and pretty for you guys. You guys didn't have to watch me struggle with all the tape inside the box, which is, of course, probably best for everybody. But before we start cracking into the individual pieces here and me showing you guys the game a little bit, I just wanted to let you know that Battle Spirits Saga is actually going to have its very first introductory tournament set in Las Vegas, actually coming up soon over the course of March 25th and 26th. And I'm actually going to be attending that event. Now, I'm not actually going to be playing inside the tournament itself. I'm still learning the game a little bit, but I will be there conducting interviews with players, taking a look at the scene, meeting some cosplayers, checking out some of the artwork for the game. So yeah, I will be there just walking around the convention and checking out the tournament scene. So if you guys want to check me out there, you can go ahead and head over to the convention. It's going to be, again, March 25th through the 26th. Or if you want to even sign up for the tournament, I believe the sign-up date for the tournament is actually March 19th. You have to go online and apply. I'll provide a link in the description below if you guys are interested in signing up for the introductory tournament for BSS. But just so you guys know, this is some of the most well-constructed tournament settings I've seen thus far in a TCG. They're putting a lot of effort into it, and I'm really, really excited to check it out. And not only that, but of course, there's going to be some cash prizes for the tournament season in BSS. I think it's somewhere up to $1 million over the course of the entire competitive year. So yeah, there's a lot of money to be made playing BSS. And even though I'm not too great right now and I'm still learning the rules, it's something I'm looking to get into myself. So just so you guys know, again, the dates, sign up March 19th. And the convention itself is going to be March 25th and 26th. I'll be there. If you see me, come say hi. Maybe I'll put you in the video that I'm making for the convention. Go ahead, just say hi to me, I'm cool. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, let's get into the actual meat of the influencer kit here. So, first thing we see is a nice official note from the BSS team saying I've been selected as one of the bravest summoners. Can you believe that? One of the bravest summoners. And yes, a booster pack of Dawn of History, the first ever booster set. Thank you guys so much. And again, we're talking about the tournament that's going to be happening in later this March 25th and 26th, as well as the full release of the game in the US in April of 2023. I believe that is April 28th is the product release. So if you're getting excited about the game and you want to get your hands on this product yourself, you'll probably be able to find it at your local game stores in late April. Thank you so much to the Bandai team for this nice letter on fake parchment. Always good to see. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. So first thing that jumped out to me was this, for influencer special art absolute ice shard. Now, let me go ahead and crack this open, take it out of its packaging. So here is Absolute Ice Shard. Look at this card, it is beautiful. Now, one thing I wanna say about BSS is just how gorgeous the arts of these cards are. Now, I'm a Vorthos head, I love everything flavor, and artwork is one of the things that jumps out at me when I'm looking at a new TCG. And I really do love the effort that they put into the arts of these cards. And I really love that right out of the gate with their very, very first set here. They're just going straight up full art, almost no borders on it, extended artwork. I love to see that. So thank you guys so much for this. It looks cool. Now, one of the more important pieces in this influencer kit is actually this World Guide and Game Guide book that they sent over. Now, I'm gonna put this to the side for now, but you can see that it expands out a lot and it holds a lot of information about the world of Battle Spirits Saga as well as how to play the game. So this is actually the tool I'm going to be using a lot to kind of understand the game a little bit, the flow of the game. There's also a fantastic, a really, really, really well done tutorial for the game that I will also provide linked in the description below. But I've been watching that a few times just to understand the flow of the game a little bit before I start inviting my friends over and using these pre-made starter decks that Bandai gave to me to play a little 1v1. But yeah, we'll get to this in a second when we go ahead and talk about the lore. Next, we have this. This is a deck case for Battle Spirits Saga. Now, it's going to be a little bit different than a normal TCG deck box because there is an element to BSS that requires a little bit more storage than your traditional card game. So, this is a fantastic box, by the way. I love it. It's leather, flips open nice and padded. It's a really high quality box, actually. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Of course, you have the top here where you put your deck right there, but this is the compartment that I was talking about. This little boop pop out right there. See it? That's really neat and very necessary for what I'm going to show you guys next. Yes, you can put die in there as you would with any other TCG, but in Battle Spirits Saga, you actually have these little emblems called Spirit Cores. Now, these are essentially, they are the resource that you use throughout the game to summon spirits, count your life, evolve your spirits for more powerful effects. But yeah, so these are going to be very necessary when you play a game. Now, do you necessarily have to play with these official little blue crystals that are provided in this influencer kit? No, not at all. You, of course, just like in any other TCG, you can use your own makeshift counters, whatever you need to do, as long as they're individual pieces, and you can differentiate between regular spirit cores like this, or yeah, little cores like this, or your red spirit core right here. And guess what? It's perfect to go right in this little pouch here. Isn't that fun? All right, let me just clean this up, and we'll move on. Next, we have this. This is a little half deck. So it provides us a little glimpse at what you could build. Battle Spirits Saga does have a lot of theming to it. It does have a lot of synergy involved with it. And you'll understand that a little bit more when I get into the lore section, because the lore actually has a pretty significant effect on the game's mechanics. And I love to see that. I love to see when a game's mechanics and design kind of go with the flow of the world that they built around the game. And you'll see that with the color of cards and the realms from which the cards come from. So let's go ahead and pop open this half deck and take a look at some more artwork. If you guys can see this, this is Imperial Thunder Dragon Siege Worm. Now, look at that foiling. And again, the extended art is just gorgeous. Now, this is actually an important character in the story that we're going to discuss a little bit later. So it's really cool to see a prominent character already in this half deck. But yeah, so just look at some of the artwork for these characters here, some of these spirits. Now, these are the spirits that you would actually summon and play with in the game to attack your opponents and, of course, try and get their life down to 0, which is essentially how every trading card game goes. But look at this, Blade Dino, Parasaur. Look how cute that little rascal is. That's adorable. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these cards, and I can give you a brief overview of how the game is actually played. All right, guys, so I actually just took out a few of the cards in that half deck they provided me just to talk about a little bit about the cards and how the game works. Now, I'm not going to be as in-depth as I would probably like. I don't want this video to be a complete just tutorial of the game itself, but I do want to just hit on some unique points of this game that kind of differentiates itself from other TCGs, at least that I've played. So, of course, you have spirits. Now, spirits are the main focus of pretty much any deck. They're the ones that's going to be your heavy hitters, the ones that are dealing damage to your opponent and the ones that are going to win you the game. You have Rain Needle, its name. You have its cost up in the top left corner here, 1. You have different levels, and then you would have an effect right here if it had any. Now, the main strategic loop of this game is managing your cores, okay? So you have your cores here. And cores are your mana. They are your resource to play spirits and play spells. And just like some other TCGs out there, it actually incrementally increases as your turns increase in the game. You actually gain cores in your reserve as your turns progress. And you use those cores to summon spirits, and you can even use the cores to level up your spirits. See, every spirit's going to have different levels on the side here, and you have to put cores on your spirit in order for them to survive at that level. So if I played it for 1, only 1 spirit core is required to keep it alive. If I wanted to level up, it's 2, and now its BP, its battle points, increases from 1,000 to 3,000. And you'll see an increase in their effectiveness and all that kind of stuff the more cores you add to the card. So it's a really cool, nice level up mechanic that makes creatures that you play, spirits that are out on your field, at least stay relevant as the game kind of goes on. Now, like every TCG, you're playing against an opponent, and your objective is to get their life here down to 0. So you attack in by tapping it, which exhausts the spirit, and if they can't block, they lose life equal to the amount of power that your creature can do. You see this crystal down here? That is how much it's going to be able to deal. And so if it attacked in, they're going to lose 1 life. You'll have stronger spirits later that can do more damage per swing, but that is basically how you will win a game of BSS with spirits. Now, spirits aren't the only card type in Battle Spirits Saga. Of course, you're going to have spell effects. So like this card right here, we have the Charge to Draw. Now, spells and BSS actually are pretty cool because they have a main effect and a flash effect, which means when you pay its cost, you can either play it as your main step phase, which has 1 effect, in this case, draw 2 cards, or you can play it as a flash effect, which means you can basically play it whenever. It's basically an interruption card, but it has a different effect. This one being select a spirit, it gains 2,000 BP during this turn. So it's a great means to adding a little bit of BP to your spirit. If you're blocking, they attack in, they think they're going to be fine. You play that as a flash, suddenly your spirit's going to win and theirs is destroyed. Next, let's talk about Nexus cards. So Nexuses are static effects. They come out on the field after you pay their cost, and they basically will just sit there providing a passive or sometimes an active benefit to your side of the field. So this is Scorched Battlefield, and it says during your attack step, all of your red spirits gain 1,000 BP. Now, it doesn't really require any of your cores to actually keep it active, but it does have a level up cost of 2. So if you wanted to level up for its better effect, you have to add 2 cores to it. But still, it says during your attack step, you draw a card when you reduce your opponent's life. So basically, if you get to swing in, you get to get some added draw off of that. That's pretty nice that you have this static effect all the time that buffs your spirits, but also gives you a added benefit later on in the game once you get a little bit more cores in your reserve. And lastly, we're going to talk about these burst effects. Now, the burst effects is probably one of the most unique aspects of this card game for me specifically, because I don't get to play with this kind of effect very often, and I really enjoy it quite a bit. This is Landmine. Now, like the other spell cards, you can actually play it as a main or a flash, and it has the effect of selecting 1 spirit. It gains 2,000 BP during this turn. So again, it is one of those cards that can just buff your character for just that turn. You know, you can play as a flash and kind of mess up a person's attack or add a little bit to your attack. That's cool, but its burst effect is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, when you play a burst card, it actually plays upside down like this on your field. In fact, there's a little burst section right here. And what's neat about burst cards is that you don't need to pay a core cost to play them at all. They just come out face down. And they get activated when a burst requirement is met. So in the case of Landmine here, burst when opponent destroys your spirit. So it will activate if it's face down on your field when an opponent destroys a spirit that you control. Select one of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or fewer BP and destroy it. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect. So it is a retaliatory type of card that when an opponent destroys one of your spirits, it activates for free and will destroy a spirit they control with 3,000 BP or less. And it gives you the added effect of possibly paying for its flash effect at that time, which I think is really cool and really unique and adds a lot of strategic value to BSS. Now let's get back to the Battle Spirits Saga, this world guide and game guide. Now, as I said, it kind of pops out quite a bit here, guys. In fact, I don't think it's gonna be on the screen much longer, but it provides you with a good glimpse at the lore of the game, as well as some of the card types that you're gonna be playing with. So let's just take a look at this section right here. Now, this is going to be, basically, this is the world of Battle Spirits Saga. And let's go ahead and talk about the lore of it right now. Every great TCG needs a story, a world that pulls players in. Yes, solid mechanics and unique designs are important, but so too is crafting a history to go along with the monsters, characters, and spells the community are going to be using. It makes every game you play feel a bit more important, adding a certain flavor that you can enjoy in whatever way you see fit. Maybe you want to build a deck fitting a specific lore theme, or maybe you get some kind of joy in defeating an opponent playing a particularly nasty character. Whatever the case, lore can add a lot to a TCG, and Battle Spirits Saga is no exception. In the new world and timeline of Battle Spirits Saga, we find an empire divided between 6 realms. Once in the past, these realms warred with one another in a desperate struggle for power and resources. This was reality for most of the world's history, one of destruction, until the appearance of a great hero named Kai. He managed to end the wars throughout the 6 realms through clever diplomacy or strategic battles we cannot say, but the result was the same: peace. The 6 realms became a single empire under his rule, one connected under the ideals of law and order. This peace would last 250 years. And while the Empire's most devout followers still claim their hold to be strong, most see the reality that previous tenets had grown lax, replaced by corruption amongst its governmental authority. The realms have lost faith in the Empire, no longer seeing its legitimacy over them, and ultimately threatening an end to an era. Again, as before, the 6 realms engage in open conflict and rebel against the Empire. The Realm of Flames, dominated by their fierce dragon inhabitants. The Realm of Gloom, where masters of undead bargain with devils for power. The Realm of Frost, teeming with giant mechanical beasts. The Realm of Forest, natural and wild, full of monstrous birds, bugs, and beasts. And the Realm of Water, the Realm of Giants, magnificent strength paired with short tempers. The real catalyst to war between the realms started with an event known as the Star Havoc Reign. In the waning years of the Empire, year 252 in the Imperial calendar, a natural disaster took place. The sky opened up, and large red jewels the size of your fist rained down from the heavens. Obviously, these objects caused untold destruction to homes and lives across the 6 realms, but the true consequence came later, when the jewels' effects became known. After some study, the red jewels were discovered to be dense bodies of energy and earned the name soul cores. When a core comes into contact with a spirit, its power is sometimes too overwhelming and it shatters the spirit into nothingness. But if the spirit is strong enough, it can absorb the power and enhance its own abilities. This caused chaos throughout the realms as power influxed between spirits, increasing tension. This was the start of the Star Havoc Age. As more and more Soul Core storms occurred, the unstable nature of the world was ripe for rebellion. The first to seize this opportunity was the Realm of Gloom. Their leader, Queen Meduc, declared war on the neighboring Realm of Flame, invading them with dark minions. In defense of the Realm of Flame was the most respected creature of the world throughout the realms, Imperial Thunder Dragon Siege Worm. Though both these figures were titanic and powerful, the Soul Cores had made evaluating strength difficult, Queen Meduc even threatening to beat the honorable Imperial Thunder Dragon in combat. The surprise attack by the Realm of Gloom certainly added to their tactical advantage. However, Siege Worm used a Soul Core to take on a more powerful form, and managed to stay off the attackers, at least for a time. This would only be the beginning, marking the end of the Imperial era and its peace. The Realm of Gloom was but the first of what would be numerous rebellions. This is where we find ourselves, the players, acting as summoners of spirits, fighting in a war of turmoil and an unclear future, using the Soul Cores to power our attacks, either to restore peace or lash at authority. The historians now look towards the second coming of heroes, who may bring some balance between the realms, those heroes being us. So yeah, that is the lore of Battle Spirits Saga. I find it really nice that you can find your identity in each of these realms, and there'll be more lore for us to digest as the game progresses. But yeah, that's the basic intro to the story of Battle Spirits Saga. Now, I want to end this video with the last thing that they actually sent me inside the influencer kit. It is what appears to be a poster of some kind. Now, I've already talked to you guys about how much I have enjoyed the artwork of Battle Spirits Saga. I really love the extended art. I'm hoping that this is some premium art. All right. I don't know if this is getting into the top-down camera view, so I'll put it right here. Look at this. Nice foiling on this poster here. And gives you some nice glimpse of the artwork of the game. Now guys, this is going to be the end of this video, but again, I just want to reiterate some of the big events that are going to be coming up for Battle Spirits Saga not too far from now. So again, March 19th, the final day that you guys can sign up and register for the tournament happening in Las Vegas, March 25th, 26th. I'm going to be at that event, so if you guys want to, you guys can come, see me, talk to me. I'm going to be walking around, taking in the sights, and doing some interviews with players, so feel free to come and introduce yourself to me. If you want to get a deeper look at how to play the game, I can cover that in another video if you let me know in the comments below if you want that kind of thing. I'm going to direct you to a link down below, which is to Bandai's official YouTube channel that they have a tutorial on how the game flow works. So if you weren't satisfied with my little description of the game and what makes it unique as a TCG, go ahead and check that out and you can learn more there. Again, I just want to thank Bandai so much for sponsoring this video, giving me this really nice influencer kit. Beautiful art. Love the feeling of these cards too. It's fantastic. This is going to be a great TCG for me to explore and I'm really excited about it. Battle Spirits Saga will release worldwide April 28th. So if you are interested in this game, you can go check out your LGSs and you'll be able to find some there around April. So go ahead and keep your eyes open for that. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully I see you in Las Vegas. Otherwise, until next time, see ya.